Hi, good evening everybody. My name is Masaki, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I have a really special video for you guys, since today I'm joined by none other than Tyler Doe. So, say hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler. Oh my fucking god.
So, thank you so much for wanting to take part of this video with me.
Yep, no problem.
So today's video is a little special episode. It's going to be a video where we're reviewing PewDiePie's My Anime List, actually. I was just watching a video one day and I saw he talked about it. He said, oh, you guys can just check out my anime list. It's pretty much public. And I was like, hold on. Felix has a My Anime List. So of course I was curious and I checked it out. But I haven't seen much of it yet. I only checked out the main profile. So as you can see here, Felix chose the classic picture of Naruto from Fully Coolly. And I did do research to make sure that this is Felix's official page, and yes, it is. There are like things that suggest that this is definitely Felix's profile. Like, for example, it says that it's October 24th on his birthday. I mean, he put 1930, but maybe that's because he was too lazy to put the date of, like, year, and I'm pretty sure that's something that everybody can relate to. You've made it like a profile, right? Where you're too lazy to put the exact days and just like, oh, I don't care when I was born.
I have for sure done that. I'm relating to you very hard right now. I always do that. I just kind of scroll up until I get to a random number because I'm too lazy to search out my specific year.
So that's pretty much what he did, and yeah, it does look accurate. It looks like it's pretty active account because he's still using it. Last online sees that it was November 3rd. I mean, that was a month ago, but still pretty active.
He's more active than me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really. I started making one for a stream at one point, and then I just gave up on it and never looked at it again.
The way that I use my anime list, it's usually to just put anime that I want to put on my watch later. Mm-hmm. I don't actually have a very concrete my anime list, because ever since I was a young weeb, I've been using diaries to register the anime that I've seen. I watch an anime, I review it on a journal, and I give it a score. Well, actually I don't give it a score, but I do give it a numbers, like anime number 523. Not that I've watched that many, but I digress. And it's like, I don't know, Boku no Pico or some shit. So that's how I usually do it. Without further ado, let's take a look-see, shall we? So he's watching 3 at the moment, completed. So, would you like to check out the completed list first?
Yeah, sure. I'm surprised by, first of all, if this is really his list. He has a lot of a lot of anime. Surprisingly, like this is a pretty decent list.
All right. So, would you like to check out the list by alphabetical order or by score order? That way, we can talk about it in that specific order.
I say we go score. Because that's actually probably a more interesting way to see what his takes are. Yeah,
and like, you know what's really interesting? I checked it out really quickly. I did cheat a little bit. So, but I just checked out to see what was his number one pick. I was genuinely curious. And, as you can see, the first thing on the list is Pop Team Epic. Now, I am a huge fan of Pop Team Epic, I'm not gonna lie, but that's just something I never expected Felix to like that much.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I'm pretty casual, like I'm a pretty casual anime fan. I don't even know what that is. Like I think I've heard it before, but I've never seen it before.
Oh, so. You never heard of it?
No, I've heard of it. I've heard of it once or twice, but I've never seen it.
So if you've heard of it, you've probably seen that infamous image of the 2 little cute girls just flipping off.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So, Pop Team Epic, to give a little bit of context, it's just a 4-panel manga comic that is all about satire. The main point of the manga is satire. It does nothing but satire and references. And there was an anime, I think in 2018, and it was honestly really good. I really love Pop Team Epic. Like, I was obsessed with it at one point. For some reason, it was one of the few things that made me feel like, hey, I'm not depressed for 10 minutes. This is great.
Maybe I need to check it out.
Yeah, but it is a bit of a hit or miss, you know,
Right.
because a lot of people don't like Pop Team Epic because they don't think it's funny, which really it is a discussion for another day, right? Because anime comedy is a very subjective kind of taste. Like I find Pop Team Epic funny, but I don't find something like Konosuba funny.
Yeah,
So,
I think that anime humor in general is like it's even more subjective than just normal day-to-day Western humor.
No, shut up! La, 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 la. I don't want to hear it! I don't want to hear it!
I'm looking at his tens. Firstly, he gives quite a bit of tens, which I have no problem with. I think that it's cool to be passionate about stuff and give stuff 10, even if you aren't 100% sure that everybody else is gonna agree with you, you know. But right off the bat, one that jumps off to me as like, oh, this is not a 10, is JoJo's Part 3, seasons 1 and seasons 2.
dude, how can you not consider JoJo Part 3 a 10?
Oh,
it's
it's
a masterpiece.
absolutely not a masterpiece. It's at best, if you're counting, and this is mostly just the second season and the beginning of the first season, at best, I can give it a 7. It's definitely not a 10. It's nowhere close to a 10. I did a series on Twitch called JoJo's Virgin, where I was going over JoJo's for the first time. And when stands were introduced, I was extremely hyped for it, and I was very excited. I thought it was going to be the best season that I've ever watched. And then to go from that to me giving it a 7 means that there was a lot of 4 parts in there and 5 parts in there. You know, like there was parts where I wanted to drop. There was a part where in season 3 where I literally skipped ahead to season 4 because I'm like, I just need something that I'm actually interested in, and I'm not interested in this at all. So I skipped to season 4 in the middle of season 3, then came back and finished season 3 because I was having such a hard time with it. Does anything else jump out to you on this list as like being either you think it shouldn't be a 10, or you're like, oh, I really like that he put this as a 10?
I really like that he put Devilman Crybaby as a 10 because he even made a video of Devilman Crybaby. So he even put it on his My Anime list, which probably shows that he's being very genuine about it. I like that he watched Martian Comes Like a Lion. I never thought that he would be the kind of person that would watch that, since I don't really consider Felix that much of a emotional person, and March Comes In Like a Lion is an extremely emotional anime, just like Koe no Katachi or Silent Voice. So I'm pretty happy that he gave those a 10 out of 10. However, one thing that I never thought I would see here is Haikyuu second season. Like, I thought Felix didn't like sports, so I'm pretty surprised that it's there. And like, why the second season and not the first season? Oh,
both are on there.
no.
Yeah.
I saw one that's like making me throw up a little bit.
What?
Fucking Himoto Maru-chan is 10. Why? Why is that a 10? Why?
Which one did you say?
Umaru-chan.
Oh.
You know that one?
Yeah. Hey, maybe he just likes a nice little chill slice of life. Calm down.
But come on, dude. There are better slice of life than the annoying brat.
I haven't even seen
on.
this. I just know it from all the memes. I've used it as a meme before a bunch of times, as I'm sure everybody else has as well. So I don't even view that as an anime. I just view it as a meme. One of the ones that jumps out to me, like you said, 2 of them are Haikyuu. So one thing that I really like is that there's a lot of diversity in this list. Like, there's a lot of slice of life. There's a lot of shonen. There's a lot of seinen. But can we not agree that Death Note, the first half was good, was probably like, 9 or 10, but the second half being in the same discussion? No, the second half is at best an 8 and at worst a 6, and he has the entire thing as a 10. That's a little crazy to me.
That's true. When you were saying like first half, I thought that my anime list was dividing that. That would have been weird, but yeah, I actually agree.
No, I almost wish that it would have, because like there's a handful of shows, right, that are like amazing on one part and then shit on the second half, or like not that good on the second half. And definitely Death Note falls in that category for me. Like I remember I watched the first half of it up until a certain event happens. I watched all of that and I was super excited, and I was like, oh man, this is amazing. And then I was like, oh, I gotta watch this with my girlfriend. So we started watching it with my girlfriend, and I get past the first half because I only got to the first half the first time around whenever I watched it by myself. So we get past the first half, and we both dropped it within like 10 episodes, and then I went back and finished it, and it was shit. I was like, wow. Kind of wish, or not shit, but just not as good. Like when you're comparing the first half of Death Note to the second half, it's like not even close in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely can relate to that sentiment. I mean, it's like, it's very good until blank.
Right.
Should I even say? I mean, it's like the biggest spoiler in anime history.
But it's crazy because it's so long. It's like you kind of feel like you can, or it's been out for so long rather. So it's so old. You kind of feel like you can say it, and I feel like most people already know about it. But man, even if there's one or two people that I could ruin that moment for, I would be devastated because that moment was so good.
Alright guys, skip until this. We're gonna talk about Death Note for a little bit.
Okay, so the moment when L dies is...
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck. Like, that's one of the moments in anime that I think to whenever I'm like, when was a moment where I got really emotional about an anime? I teared up the first time, cried the second time watching it. I was like, because it's just, man, there's something so horrible about the way that it happened and the way that he finally started to kind of trust Light, and then all of a sudden, all that trust and like the one time that he really truly trusts a person is thrown out the window, and the face that he gives Light and the face that Light gives back to L is just so horrible. It was just a really emotional moment. Not to mention the fact that like L is somebody that's kind of difficult to like. So the fact that we grew to enjoy him and like him as a character really speaks volumes for the writer of the series. But it also speaks volumes to the fact that the death has so much impact because we actually really, really liked him as a character, you know?
Yeah, I completely
so
agree.
Sad.
It was so sad. Yeah.
So sad.
Moving on, I actually think it's really cool that Felix watched Canon. Canon is like the one of the first key studio anime, maybe at least one of the really popular, one of the first ones that created that genre of really popular, wholesome slice of life anime that Key is known for. So I'm happy that he watched it and he gave it a 10. However, like I said, Planet to me is superior. I would give Canon maybe a 7.5 or an 8, but I would understand that he watched it because it was like half the length of Planet, but I am pretty glad that he gave it a 10. At least he didn't watch Air and give that a 10, because that one was pretty bad.
That's the thing that's weird about this list, right? Is I feel like there's such a huge leap from like what you said, a 7.5 to an 8. Like I feel like 7.5 to 8 for anime that are like semi-popular that people watch is pretty average, right? Not average across the board because obviously 5 is an average, but like as far as like popular anime that people actually enjoy and you know that people are gonna like, 7.5, 8 is pretty normal. So the difference between you saying it's a 7.5 and an 8 and a 10 is a huge difference.
Yeah, it really depends on every person. I mean, I feel like Felix is not somebody that critiques too much.
Right.
He's not too used to it, and I feel like most people that have a lot of 10s and a lot of 9s on their My Anime list, that's why they're so high.
Because they're just not
used to
they're just not thinking super heavy into each little trope. They're just kind of enjoying it and watching it.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
So that's why he does have a lot of 10s. However, I'm okay with that. At least he has culture. At least he has taste.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with that. Oh, he has Mononoke as a 10. That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Mononoke is such a niche anime. It's like a horror kind of anime. It's very artistic. It's an anime not a lot of people know about.
You know what's funny is that I just assumed that this was Princess Mononoke, and so I was like, yeah, that movie was really good. And then now I just clicked on the actual link and saw that it was an anime I've never even seen or heard of before.
Oh, if you like horror, you need to check
The
this out.
art
It's
and
very
the
good.
art and animation looks very interesting.
Oh yeah, it is. It's very
Definitely have to check
very
this out.
good. Definitely do check it out. But it's one of those refined tastes. It's a show that you watch either if you have the mental capacity that day to really deeply analyze something, Or if you're high, that would. This channel does not condone drugs. I would just like to say
Definitely not.
Does not condone drugs. Yeah. All right. Oh, there it is. He did put Planet. Oh, perfect. 10 out of 10. That's great. I'm glad that he put Planet in there. I wasn't seeing it.
Where did he put
right.
Clannad After Story, I wonder?
It's a 10. It's number 12. It's 10 out of 10. Oh, wait.
No, After Story. Yeah.
Maybe he didn't watch it. Maybe you watched the
There's
first
no way you watch the first season of Clannad and then you're like, oh, okay, I just move on with my life. You know, like that's just impossible.
Yeah. I mean, it is possible if you dislike Clannad, which I know people that do. So there are people that think Clannad is boring. They watch a couple of episodes and they can't get into it because it's a bit of a slow start. You could say it's a little bit similar to Steins Gate. Only it's double the episodes, right? Because the first 12 episodes of Steins Gate is nothing but world building, nothing but character building. And then shit hits the fan after episode 12. And for Clannad, it's the same thing, only it's 24 episodes of world building and then 24 of the really good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like I feel like we... Oh no.
Wait, what?
Speaking of Steins Gate, he gave that one a 9.
Wait, would you give it a 10?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. But yeah, I would give it a 9. It's just that I don't know. I did enjoy it more than fucking Umaru-chan. But
anyways. I just found something in this list that kind of jumps out to me as a little whack.
What would that be?
Number 58, Toradora. An 8 out of 10. I think Toradora is at least a 9. In my opinion, it's a 10. I loved it so much. I thought the pacing was great. I thought the character development was great. It was one of the first slice of life anime, like romance, that I got into. It's my girlfriend's favorite anime, so we have that in common to always talk about. So yes.
I see. Well, actually, Toradora was also one of my first shows that I watched. I don't really know what I would rate it. I think back then I rated it a 10 out of 10 because it was one of my first shows. But I started kind of with the years analyzing the psychology of Taiga, like how she was as a character, how her relationship with Ryuji was his name. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Was it Ryuji?
Yeah, Ryuji.
So I started analyzing the relationship, and I realized how unhealthy it was. You know, like how unhealthy it actually is to be a tsundere.
Oh, it's 100% unhealthy, but that's what makes it great. Is like they know this is bad, and they know that it's bad for them, but they can't help their feelings, and they are who they are, and they're trying to work through what they're been given. You know.
I mean, that's an interesting way to look at it. But, like, it's an anime that I could never hate, ever. So, I think I would give it a 7.
Oh, no.
But I'm sorry, I can't give it higher than that.
I love Toradora.
It's okay, I mean,
pour
we all have
pour
that
one
one
out for
anime,
Toradora.
Right? Let's go to the bottom of the list.
Okay.
He rated Higurashi a 6. This is a sin! Higurashi is a classic. You can't rate that a 6.
You know what else is horrible? Is he has your name as unrated, which I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that he just didn't know what to rate it. Like he was like, I need to think about this more. Or if it means, yeah, you know what, I just didn't really like this. I'm not even gonna rate it. And if it's the second one, he's crazy. He's one of those haters that thinks that it sucks because you're comparing it to a silent voice. But if he just needed some time to mull it over, I understand.
I don't know. I have a feeling that would be the prior would be more likely because he rated a silent voice a 10 to the fact that he watched Kingdom Nawa and didn't even care to rate it.
Right.
Then I have a feeling that he didn't like it that much.
Yeah, which I understand. Like if you compare the two, but I don't understand why you compare the two. I think that they're two separate movies and they both bring something different. I think that, like, in my opinion, and I know this is kind of a hot take for a lot of people, but I think that both are 10s in different ways. I think that Your Name is a 10 in the fact that it's just a movie that makes me feel good. I liked the little twist in there. And then I think that A Silent Voice is a 10 out of 10 in like the most raw emotional way, you know?
That's actually really interesting. I never thought about it like that before.
I think we should move on to, I think we need to move on to his On Hold.
On Hold, alright.
He has 4. And the one that immediately stands out to me is how the hell could that be on hold is Mob Psycho 100 Part 2. How could you have season 2 of Mob Psycho 100 on hold? It had me hooked from the first episode of episode 1 or season 1. I can't even imagine not binging through that entire series. Like it just was so natural for me. I was just going.
He did get pretty close.
Yeah,
he's only missing 2 episodes.
That's even crazier. It's like you got almost to the end and then was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a break on this one. That one's crazy. At least D Gray Man, it's like, oh, you know, it's 103 episodes long. And I got 37 of the way through. I could see myself being like, you know what, I'm gonna put a pause on this one. But Mob Psycho 100 Part 2 is only 13 episodes. Like, you might as well just finish it at that point.
Well, maybe he was watching it as it was airing, and he watched up to episode 11, and then something happened, and got busy, and he forgot. That's a possibility.
Definitely possible. You're right.
I mean, he is known for being very forgetful. Like, he forgets things all the time, which is something a lot of the community makes fun of.
That's definitely a good possibility. You're right.
Yeah.
Does anything jump out to you on this one?
Not particularly, no. What about dropped? Let's see what he's dropped.
Yeah, so so on dropped, I pushed the score thing to rate it by score, and then it brought Fruits Basket to be number 2.
Yeah, no, it's his first season over here. So he dropped the first season, which is a little bit weird because he got pretty far.
Yeah, this is another example
episodes.
of him getting really close to being done and then just be like, you know what, I'm just not gonna finish this. And he rated it a 7, which I feel like if something's a 7 and you get that far, you might as well finish it, you know?
Yeah, that is true. What I think it's really interesting is that he watched 65 episodes of Naruto Shippuden.
But you know why that makes sense to me?
Why?
It's because that's right about the point where the filler really starts. So maybe he was watching it and either he didn't realize it was filler or he was just like, no, fuck this. They're going to put this much filler. I'm not watching this. And dropped it.
That is true.
So I could see that.
But there is one thing that he dropped. There are 2 things. I just found something that really offends me that he dropped. A Tale of Melodies. Dude, everything about that anime feels like key animation anime. Why did he drop it? It was so good. It was so emotional. It had such unique characters with a unique premise.
Yeah, and it's rated an 8 out of 10 on Mal.
It is really good. I can't believe he dropped that. I mean, he watched Canon. He watched Clannad. Why wouldn't you like A Tale of Melodies? That's so good. But the other one that I saw really offends me. He dropped Serial Experiments Lane. I mean, come on, dude. That anime is a masterpiece. Especially for someone who's a tech junkie. He would be able to relate to that.
That one is surprising, but you know what's also surprising is 2 underneath that. He watched 1 episode of Bleach and dropped it.
Oh. You know, I mean, actually, say it.
I think at least one thing that we've learned from looking at his list is, you know, whether or not he's rating it the way you want to or I want to, he does have at least the appearance of having some sort of culture, right? Like he definitely is giving a lot of stuff a chance, and he's definitely watching a myriad of things, not just action, battle shonen. He's watching a lot of like interesting stuff. But for his plan to watch, he has 10 things on plan to watch. My first initial 2 things that strike out to me, being that I am more of a shonen signing guy, is Death Parade, which definitely should watch. I haven't watched it either, but I've been dying to watch it. It's been one of those things where, like, if I just didn't have so much stuff going on with, like, you know, social media, YouTube, Twitch, I would definitely be watching it right now. And then the other one that jumps out to me as like a fun one to watch that you should just watch if you're ever just like, oh, you know what, I could go for this, is Promare. Promare is definitely a great anime movie. And if you haven't seen it, you should just, you know, give it a chance.
Yeah, those are the 2 that I agree on. You know, when you were saying like something fun to watch, what you don't want to think too much, I thought you were gonna talk about the K-On movie.
Definitely that too.
I mean, well, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yep.
So, I think we should wrap this video up. So thank you much, Tyler, for joining me for this video.
No problem.
I really appreciate it.
It was definitely interesting. It was definitely interesting to get through Felix's list because I think it shows everybody that he might be more of an anime fan than you. So
Definitely. Is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap this up?
nope, just check out my my Twitch, my YouTube, my Twitter, and thank you so much for having me on the video. It was fun.
Well, thank you as well. So yeah, that's gonna be everything for today. You can follow everything related to Tyler on the description of this video. You can follow my social medias and everything is about me is on the description as well. That being said, thank you everybody so much for watching this video. I hope you have a lovely evening. And remember, stay determined, and I'll see you later, cousins. TTFN.